Hello guys, welcome to today's stream once again. I know it's been a long time since we had a stream last time, so I decided it would be a good idea for us to do a completely different drawing. So I'm going to do some fan art today. Hopefully it'll do justice to the song because it's a really cool song. Really love it. So if you guys are familiar with Florence and the Machine, she's one of my favorite musicians actually. And she has one song called My Boy Builds Coffins, and it's a really interesting song. So I decided I wanted to, do a drawing of the boy building a coffin. Novikin, thank you for the resub. Neka and Zazu, good to see us again. Well, thank you, Dovikin, and thank you so much for the beautiful drawing you did of both Zazu and myself. I really love that drawing, especially you adding little Zazu. That was just the nicest touch. I don't know what's up with the camera today, but it's being a little strange. 7 months in a row! You have really been here a long time, haven't you, Dover? I see you changed your username as well. Is that because people just couldn't get it right, or what's the deal with that? So, I had an idea that I kind of want the coffin to be, like, going into the background, and the boy sort of standing over it, and being in the process of building it. So not sure how I'm gonna do the composition, but I'll figure it out as I go. You changed it to match your new art Instagram. So this is your first time being on Instagram then? How do you find Instagram? Have you found a lot of cool artists to follow on there yet, or how are you finding it? I reckon I'm going to put the coffin in the foreground actually, instead of in the background. How mockery! Thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate that. Thank you. How are you doing, Mockery? Is your name meant to have like a double meaning to it, Hell Mockery? Like hell and hell, or what's the deal with it? How did you come onto that name? So I'm going to have to do a lot of, foreshortening here. Gonna be a tricky one to get this composition just right. Once I do, it should look really cool. You're doing good. You just got home from work. It's part of a band album. Okay. I'm not really familiar with it, but sounds like a cool band album. What kind of music do they make? I'm actually just really happy because one of my favorite artists brought out a new album recently. Probably a while ago, but I only just discovered it recently. And I was so happy when I found out. So it's Pretty Reckless's Death by a Rock and Roll album, and it's so good. Really good music. Absolutely love it. I'm good, Hell Mockery. I hope you are too. Black metal band? Okay. The band's name is The Pretty Reckless. And the album they brought out is called Death by Rock and Roll, and it's got quite a diverse amount of songs in it. Like, I feel like it's her most diverse album, you know, ever that she's ever done. But yeah, I stopped liking a lot of her music because she deviated from her previous style when she was a lot younger, and I feel like that one. Isn't it the lead singer from the show Gossip Girl? Yeah, it is. She doesn't actually like to be referred to as that Gossip Girl character. Interestingly, I don't know. She just doesn't have the fondest memories of it for some reason. But yeah, definitely is. I never saw the show though. I never saw it. You bet? Why do you think that? Like, was it a stupid show or just like a very teenage-like show? I just saw her saying in an interview that everyone always refers to her as Gossip Girl, and it took her forever to sort of lose that kind of, you know, lose that link, so people would know her for, you know, her music and everything. Teenage drama show. Okay. It's probably not something I would really be into, but, you know. So if I can just get the actual coffin right, you know, the perspective and everything on it, then we can start the little boy, but we need to make sure that this bit actually works. So, kind of like Mean Girls. I haven't seen that either, but I get what you're saying. It's you know, a very you know, it's for young people, so probably why she's kind of outgrown it now, you know. Not really her thing anymore. But yeah, I feel like she makes really good music. Oh, you kind of like Mean Girls. Well, I'm not saying anything bad about it because I haven't seen it, but hello Aoife, how are you doing? Florence and the Machine fan? Yes, indeed. Are you too? Some roles are stuck like that, like David Duchovny hated being referred to as Mulder from The X-Files after playing the character so many seasons. I don't know which character is Mulder. Not really familiar with it that much, so... I don't know, being referred to as an X-Men character, that doesn't really sound like something so bad. Being referred to as like a drama actor, yeah, I can definitely see why, you know, you would kind of want to shake that. So, but X-Men is so cool, so you know, why would you care? Mulder and Scully from the X-Files. I don't know. I'm glad you're well, Aoife. I'm really glad. Let me Google who they are. I actually don't know them. Like, they're not really familiar at all. Oh, that's why you're saying the X-Files. That's why I'm confused. Because I'm trying to think of X-Men. Yeah, I haven't seen that show. So... You think I would, like the band King Dude? Not metal, but dark folk. Okay. I will make a note of that. And then, so the band is called King Dude, and then afterwards, hopefully I can, you know, have a bit of a listen. Because that sounds really cool. Always excited to, you know, learn about new music. So what are some of you guys' favorite bands? Do any of you guys know Florence and the Machine here? So I'm hoping, I want to do two. I want to do one with just the boy, and hopefully I can do another later with, you know, the girl, and do like a kind of like a Valentine's Day card with both of them. That's what I'm hoping for, but I've got to finish the boy first, you know, because I want to do a couple. Usually you lurk, but you gotta ask, is this a Florence and the Machine reference? Yes, it is, Cosmic, and welcome. I'm glad you've introduced yourself. Yes, it is. I'm a huge fan of her music. I prefer her older stuff, especially her Lungs album. I feel like that was her best work ever. But yeah, it is. It definitely is. It was too long to put in the title, so I couldn't really, you know, put it in there. But yes, it is Florence and the Machine fan art, so definitely. Hopefully I do her song justice because, you know, I really, really adore her music. It would be a real shame if it didn't turn out good. Chelsea Wolfe is amazing as well. Her voice is beautiful. Okay, what kind of style of music does she make? Is it also like dark folk? Similar to Florence's stuff? Hello, Kishinobi! It's been 100 years! How have I been? Well, I needed a bit of a break. Just had a lot of things going on lately, so I needed a bit of a reset, you know. But yeah, I'm glad to be back, glad to be back into arting, and I've actually done a lot of, you know, research over the past week. I did a lot of work on my portfolio, updated that, so I'm planning to hopefully do a watercolor piece of my Humpty Dumpty spread, and if, you know, if I prefer the watercolor style, I'll put those in my folio. Then I will start to, you know, send out some work to illustration agencies. Hopefully I get accepted into one. That's the idea. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. So I've done a lot of work just, you know, curating my portfolio, because it's been a long time since I updated it last, and I really just needed, you know, needed to get it updated because I never have time to get around to that, so. Yeah, it's folk media, folk mixed with a bit of doom metal. That's interesting. Could you post one of her songs in Discord for me? I'd love to have a listen. That's excellent. Always nice to step back a bit and reset. It definitely, definitely is. Especially with art, you know, sometimes you can get really caught up in just continually creating, and, you know, you need to constantly review your, you know, progress of your style, the kinds of things you're making, why you're making everything. So yeah, it's always important. So the Instagram thing I asked, yeah, you barely use your personal one, and you need to use your art one often, like you work on your presentation. 2 days and you already have 23 followers. People and fellow artists honestly a bit surprised. I wouldn't be. You've got a lot of friends around Doverkin, and you also, you spend a lot of time very invested in the community and everything, so I would have expected that. But yeah, I really hope your channel grows. You get to actually enjoy making friends on Instagram, because for me, I've definitely made a lot of close friends on Instagram, fellow artists that really, really support me and I support them. And we always, share art ideas and other things, so you're gonna enjoy it. I really, really hope you do. Loving my bat ring? Thank you. The bat ring's name is actually Betsy. We decided to call her Betsy because, she's such a part of the stream all the time, and she needed a name. She really did. So, we're just putting a nail in the coffin now. I was going through some old pictures of some past birthday parties over the weekend, and I had a look at some of the outfits that I've worn for my birthday parties, and I was just wondering, like, what was one of the craziest outfits I've ever worn? If I had to think of that, what would it be? And I think the most ridiculous one for me probably would have had to be being dressed as a crazy butterfly with lots of butterfly wings, and we had LED things all over. Like my siblings were all dressed up and everything. We all got dressed in LEDs. It was really, really interesting. I think the second most crazy outfit would be my Fallout 76 outfit. But yeah, that one was pretty interesting. I kind of did a lot of face makeup for that one. I actually posted a picture of that on Instagram. So I reckon he needs to hold the nail like that. No idea though. You just resubbed with Twitch Prime but didn't get a notification. Weird. That is strange. I didn't even see it. It doesn't even pop up in my mini feed. But thank you, Kishinobi. Really, really appreciate that. That is weird. Try refreshing the page and it should pop up. Yeah, that is strange. Trying to think how we should hold this. I'm not sure how I want him to hold the nail right now. There we go. Thank you so much, Kishinobi. Thank you. Finally we got there. I'm awesome. Keep up the awesome work. Well, thank you. I really do aim to do so. Any plans for my birthday this year? I actually do have some plans. I had always wanted to do like a crazy Alice in Wonderland themed birthday party. And my mum actually bakes really intricate cakes. She really decorates them very detailed. So I had wanted to do an Alice in Wonderland themed birthday party, but I also don't want to load her up with too much work for the cake. So the question is just, is this year too busy? Like, will we have some time to actually make a cake and everything? Because it would be so cool to actually have a really cool cake alongside it as well if we're going to put in a lot of effort, for the birthday party itself. But yeah, that was the plan. So I would love doing that. Refresh the page at work now, thanks. Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Oh my goodness, thank you for the raid. Thank you, Kat. I was watching you work on your beautiful painting earlier. It's so awesome. If I could take credit for any book, movie, etc., what would it be? It would have to be, personally, little bro, it would have to be some of the work by some of my favorite artists. I believe it would be Alice in Wonderland. I think if I could take credit for anything, it would be that. We're actually just talking about Alice in Wonderland. Am I taking auditions for the Mad Hatter? I would love to. Yeah, I would definitely love to. Thank you so much. Guys, you have got to look at the beautiful, beautiful art by Kat videos. Please, please, Kat, have a look at her stream. Go and follow her on Twitch. Her work is amazing. You will love her stream. Look at some of the beautiful stuff that she does. That is so awesome. Her streams are so entertaining because she does all these animal sounds. They're really cool. Look at this piece. She recently worked on a whale piece that I loved so much. It was drop dead gorgeous. I loved it. Get out of your head, Cat. Good choice. Yeah, it's a classic. It just has to be my choice. My look reminds you of Emily in Paris, but Lily Collins is fire, so you definitely mean that as a compliment. Everyone says I look like her. It's like, it's either her or, Rooney Mara, apparently, that I look like. But yeah, I love Lily Collins so much. She's a beautiful person, so compliment definitely accepted. You're very welcome, Kat. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm good, Athena. I'm really good. I hope you are too. We're just working on some fan art here by, it's based on a song called My Boy Builds Coffins. And it's a song by Florence and the Machine, which is one of my favorite bands of all time. And she makes some gorgeous, gorgeous music. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the gifted sub as well, Doverkin. Really, really appreciate that. Sam, welcome. Thank you so much. My ringneck emote is your new fave. That is actually based on Little Zazu. I'll drop a link to his website. That didn't actually work. Not sure why. But Zazu has his very own website, and sometimes he actually is on stream. But lately he likes to be outside a lot more, so we haven't actually had a lot of time with Zazu being inside lately. That's alright. Rooney Mara is also a fire person, so either way, you would take it as a compliment. You know what, Super Bass? I've never seen a girl with a dragon tattoo. I always want to see it, but because I think I'm really gonna like it, I always put it off to a time when I'm going to be really relaxed, I have a lot of nice snacks and, have a really relaxing evening. So I've never gotten around to watching it, and I really want to watch it. So yeah, Rooney Mara plays Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. Didn't actually know. I actually didn't know Rooney Mara until a bunch of people started saying that I look like her, and then I found out that, oh, she's actually the actress in Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, so that was pretty cool. Zazu is in the glass reflection. He is, yeah. You can see little Zazu dancing right up here. Usually he's inside, but today he didn't want anything to do with the stream, so not gracing us with his presence. You really enjoyed that movie. I should see it. I'm sure it's a good movie, yeah. I think it had really good ratings as well. You love Disney's Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton's live action version. Not so much. Okay. I did really like I always love the 2D animated ones. I feel like they're so creative. They really work a lot on, the creativity, like the colors, the way they do the compositions, just everything. Whereas the new ones rely a lot more on CG, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like it just took so much more creativity from the 2D animators to make things feel alive. Especially things like Bambi. Like, if you watch the old Bambi and Dumbo, Dumbo is incredible. But yeah. Definitely amazing creations those are. Now I just need to do the hammer. Kind of wanted to make the hammer nice and big, so it's really obvious. So I'm wondering if I need to make it a little bit bigger than that. Not sure. It's fun to come in at the start of a composition though. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's definitely a very different process. Charles Lister Art is another streamer that also does a lot of, just sketches from blank page to finished sketch. So if you're into that sort of thing, definitely go check out his art streams, because he is amazing. How many of you guys are familiar with the work, the music by Florence and the Machine? Do you guys like her stuff? Do you have a favorite song by her? Did I finish the Humpty Dumpty stuff? Not yet. I think I've started on, I'm pretty sure, the 5th page now. And I also need to do a cover. So yeah, I'm still in the process of that. I'm planning to just get a watercolor, a large piece of watercolor paper, but the problem is I was shopping around for watercolor paper last night, and because I need a really large size, I have to buy A2 paper, and they don't actually let you buy less than 10 spreads, which ends up being like $160 if I want 10 spreads of paper. So, it's just a lot. It doesn't actually work out to be that expensive in total for what I'm gonna be able to get out of it, but it's just a lot of money all at once. So yeah, I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do about that just yet, but I need to figure out a way to get it on actual watercolor paper. Thank you for the shout out, Doverkin. You remember rewatching the Disney version, that side story with you think the clams and the walrus? It's so dark. I don't actually remember that right now. Gotta rewatch it. You mean you like the Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter and seeing Johnny Depp in their movies? Oh, Johnny Depp. Like, any movie he plays in, he's just amazing. And I love how, you can never really recognize him in a movie because he's always got so much face paint on or, wearing a mask or whatever. But it's just, yeah, his acting is amazing. But the content could have probably been furthered without always featuring those people. You mean not featuring the same actors? We love Charles, he does amazing work. He really does, yeah. You like The Dog Days Are Over? I know, that one is so good. I feel like that one, yeah, that one's gotta be up there, one of the top ones, definitely. I agree. It's just got such a different tone to it than, most other music. Amazing. You like Cosmic Love Song? Okay. I also like, what's it called? Girl with One Eye. I feel like that song is so dark and so creepy, but also really, really cool. I love it. And that's what Florence just does really well, she's so great at just subtly capturing all that emotion in such a good way. Not love like you don't like mostly the mainstream songs, but you love their songs that would be considered mainstream. Okay, so their most popular ones. Could I recommend you a good Florence song? Well, the ones that Super Bass mentioned earlier, Dog Days Are Over, that's a really, really good one. I also, as mentioned, I really love Girl with One Eye. I don't actually know her music off the top of my head, but anything from the Lungs album should be amazing. I really love that. Kiss with a Fist is another really good one. I don't actually have her stuff downloaded on my iPad at the moment, but yeah, anything from the Lungs album is just amazing. I also love the Ceremonials album. So Seven Devils is another really good one. Heartlines is good. I also really like Landscape. Those are all in the Ceremonials album. In Lungs, let me have a look. Rabbit Heart is a really good one. As I said, Kiss with a Fist, Girl with One Eye, My Boy Builds Coffins. That's obviously based on the drawing I'm doing. That's a really good one. Also, Hardest of Hearts, and then, Dog Days Are Over. Those are all really amazing ones. So basically, check out her Lungs album if you're not familiar with it, and check out Ceremonials. I feel like those are her top pieces of work ever. Lungs was a good album for Florence and the Machine. Yeah, I feel like that's what put her on the map. That whole album was solid. It was. It really was. Would that be the album made you become? Would that be the album? Oh, that would be the album that made you become a fan of the band. Yeah, same. I feel like that's how I discovered her through that album. Heavy in Your Arms and Breath of Life are 10 out of 10. Just posted 2 songs from King Dude and Chelsea Wolf in Discord. Well, thank you. I'll definitely check them out after the stream. I'd love to. Leash, how are you? It has been a while. How are you doing? I'm glad you're well. Have you been streaming again, or are you still taking a break as well? I know you did. You did have a bit of a break. How is that oil painting you're working on coming along? I really gave him cute pudgy hands here. Really happy about that. You're still on hiatus? Okay. Well, sometimes it's good to take a bit of a refresher. That's what I was doing as well. So, don't feel bad. Sometimes you just need it, you know? Are you still making art at least? Like, on your own, personal work? So I really want to give him a really comfy kind of sweater. Something that looks real nice and snuggly. It's coming along alright. You'll share some updates if you remember. Okay, well I'm really excited to see your oil painting. So I'll be keeping in touch with your Instagram for sure. Definitely, you have a few exhibitions lined up next year, so you're working on more serious art that you don't usually show on stream. That is awesome! I'm really, really happy for you. Where are you showing, where are you exhibiting at? Hello, Melissa! How are you doing? Feels very porcelain in a good way. You mean the drawing does? I'm glad you think it looks good. So, one issue I might be having here, I think I'm gonna make him sit on like his knees, because I'm not gonna be able to make him, you know, stand up. He's going to... I'm gonna run out of room if I do that, so... Doing awesome, just played some Mass Effect 3, and now you're winding down for bedtime. Sounds like a great evening. Yeah, I'm really glad you're enjoying yourself. Well, Super Bass, you know what? I feel like a lot of Popsarilla styles kind of have this sort of, as you said, porcelain feel about them. I don't know what creates that. I feel like it's just something to do with the staged poses that, you know, Popsarilla's art sort of focuses on largely. Maybe it's that. Who knows? But yeah, it definitely has that very nursery rhyme-esque feel about it, I guess. I'm probably just going to take a quick snapshot of it while it's at this stage. I always get the reflection of the webcam in place, which is a little bit annoying, but you know. Do you guys like taking pictures of your art like while it's in the progress stage? Oh yeah, art subjectively makes it beautiful no matter the circumstance. That's so true. Like, and I think that's the whole point of art, you know, is art is meant to make something look more appealing than real life. I was looking at an illustration, like a children's book illustration the other day, and like all the grass was completely blue, and the sky area was dark, and it was supposed to resemble nighttime. But it's interesting because in real life you won't have that really vibrant blue. It's almost like a violet blue. But it really worked. It completely conveyed the idea that it was like, you know, just past dusk and it was nighttime, but you can still see the moonlight shining through. And I feel like that is exactly what art is meant to do, make real life look more appealing. You're glad you can't draw worth anything. You like to make music. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you're being creative in your own way, Super Bass. What kind of music do you make? Exactly. I mean, everything with creativity is subjective. So, like, how are you supposed to know, right? How are you supposed to know? It's so interesting to me how some days when I set out to draw, I have a really tight style. Like, oh, when I draw, it won't be rough and loose, and then other days, it'll be incredibly rough and loose. And it's interesting to me how your mood can really change how you draw. You don't draw as much anymore, but you do animate. Maybe you should share in Discord the cute little monster you animated walking the other day. That is so cool. Yeah, you really should. I'd love to see it. You think you've heard from another artist that you think if they are able to present what they wanted to without people having to think about it, that is art. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. But also, you know, people can have different interpretations of your art. Like you might think it's one thing, and then in reality, to them, it can mean something completely different because of, you know, maybe a life experience or something else. So, and I think that's the good thing about art. You know, it's so different for everyone. Everyone can get something else out of it, and I personally don't mind if people look at my art and they maybe don't quite get what I was doing, but maybe they get something else out of it. That's totally fine. You love my style. Thank you, False Visual. How are you? I hope you're well. Also subjective thought, but you thought that that was a cool thought. Exactly. But that was a thought if the thought wasn't subjective, but the definition. And that struck you. Good night, little bro. Thank you for hanging out, and thank you for, you know, torturing me with my own question earlier during the raid. I'm really, really happy you enjoyed your time here. Well, that's good. What have you been up to over the weekend, False Visual? I hope you had a good one. Thank you for the follow, Super Based. Really appreciate that. Welcome to our vampire tea party. I hope you keep enjoying it here. What would you guys say is one of the strangest things you've ever drawn? Like, ever put to paper? I don't know, I think it would, for me, it would have to be one of the yokai I drew, I think, during a Halloween, or it could be the Tatzelworm, that I also drew during Halloween. So a Tatzelworm is actually a cat with a long snake-like body covered in fur. I think that would have to be the craziest thing I've ever drawn. You don't know why you didn't follow. You tend to get caught up in conversation and forget to follow sometimes. It happens. Trust me, I have been to people's streams repeatedly, like multiple times, and then felt like, well, I never see them live until like I'm searching for them, and then I realize I'm not following, you know? So it happens, trust me, it's okay. Playing around more in web design, you also finally started to get your Discord together. That's awesome! What kind of website are you making? I recently finished a website project for a client of mine. So really, really happy. I finally got paid for that, and that's off me, you know? Don't have to think about it anymore. Even though that was actually a really nice project to work on. You know, sometimes we get projects that are a real pain and not really fun to work on, but other times they're not so bad, you know. I always love the part where I get to start doing some shading Shading is always, for me, the part where everything comes to life, you know. If I could have one tea, one sandwich, and one dessert at my tea party, what would it be? It would have to be blood tea, maybe brain sandwich, and I don't know. What would we have for dessert? Eyeball dessert? I think that sounds good. Playing around more in web design. Oh, you think the weirdest thing you've drawn is your teeth monster for Cody's prompt? That sounds fitting. Cody's prompts are definitely really, you know, really out there, so I would imagine that could be one of your weirdest drawings ever. Would you mind sharing that in our Discord as well? When you drew abstractly and jokingly said, "This is a representation of your feelings," and they gave you an odd look. Oh no. But it's art, right? I mean, you can draw your feelings any way you wanna. Haters gonna be haters. Exactly, Dover, exactly. Do you suppose they didn't understand your line work and your expressions? I would say so. I would say they were a bit uptight, you know. You actually design or manage a website for a mom and pop local pet store. You were playing around on your personal pet photography one. That is so cool. Please share a link to your pet one in my Discord, because I always love to look at pet websites. You think that Velvet Buzzsaw is a good representation of pop art? I can't say that I know him. End of the movie ends up with a true artist dancing around the beach painting lines with a stick. Exactly. True art in your opinion. Eyeball dessert. What? You're not keen, Dover? Why aren't you keen? Why is my webcam spazzing out all over again? I don't know, I'm sorry guys. My webcam has been causing lots and lots of issues for me lately, and I don't know what to do about it. So we're kind of stuck with whatever it's doing right now. I always feel like once you do the face of a character, they really just come to life, and the whole thing becomes that much easier to finish. You love my top, by the way. You love flower tops in general. Thank you. Yeah, it's a nice lace flower top. You gotta head out, have a good stream. Glad I'm back. Well, thank you, Hell Mockery. I'm definitely back, and I'm hoping to do a lot of new drawings this week as well. It's cool, just took you by surprise. No worries. Well, if you're not keen on it, you don't have to try it, but I would say that's what comes to mind for me. You posted your teeth monster in my Discord, beware. Well, I hope he doesn't eat up all the other creatures in my Discord. I'll have a look after the stream for sure, thank you. You were interested, is there macabre art being posted? In my Discord? That's totally cool. Yeah, if you want to, you can post anything macabre related in my Discord as well. Obviously that's very cool and very accepted here, considering we're a community that's very appreciative of darker arts, if you haven't realized that already. So if that's your kind of thing, go ahead. So I do want to do some work on his ear. I don't feel like his ear is quite working just yet. All the art is fine here from looking. Yeah, exactly. We've got some amazingly talented people in my Discord. We're very lucky. Everyone is very inspiring, and I love waking up and seeing what you guys have been doing and being like, oh, you know, everyone's being so creative. It's, you know, it's inspiring to be part of a community of fellow artists that are also enthusiastic about art itself. So what would you guys say is your go-to midnight snack? Okay, are any of you guys avid midnight snackers around here, or is that just me? Because last night I was snacking on the most delicious fruit pie, and the crust was like all shortbready. It was delicious. I wish we had more, but I finished the last piece. So it was really good though. But yeah, sometimes I love to make toast, put on some Nutella, and have a glass of milk. I feel like that's a really quick and easy midnight snack, and I love that. Chocolate is the best. You think it's quite visceral, and you like that. Not nightmare-inducing, but the texture of gums. Yours is usually cereal or ice cream. Really? I do, cereal I do a lot, but ice cream? I can't say that I usually have ice cream in the middle of the night. Maybe because currently that doesn't sound very appealing because it's very cold here. Um, so you know. But that definitely doesn't sound bad. Definitely sounds like a good kind of midnight snack. Or cookies. Cookies are the best, yeah. You like making a good sandwich as a midnight snack. Yeah, well, sometimes you just have to, go all out. You usually have tea, but food-wise, cookies. I make tea too, but lately I can't really boil the kettle because it's right next to my brother's room and it'll wake him up. So I can't really do that. I want to give him a nice texture on his beautiful jumper as well. Like it looks beautiful and cuddly, but I want to give it something interesting, you know? You always love you a good snack, a good night snack of liquor. Okay. Well, I don't know. Is that going to make you more sleepy though? Your go-to would be a nice spoon scoop of peanut butter. Oh, that sounds good. I love eating peanut butter straight out of the jar as well, so that sounds like a sweet midnight snack. You just had a couple of soft ginger cookies a little bit ago. Hit the spot. That's awesome. We buy these really thin ginger cookies, and I just love dipping them in milk. They're so good. Nice and crisp, and then when you dip them in milk, they go super soft. It's the best. It's honestly amazing. I want to give him like really unkempt hair, you know? Um, like he hasn't brushed it in years and he doesn't really know how. That's what I'm trying to go for. I always used to struggle drawing boys' hairstyles. Something about going really short. I don't know, just messed with my head, and I didn't used to be able to really know how. I've since started to figure it out, but I'm still not as comfortable with it as I am with like, girls' hairstyles. Probably just because if you're not used to how a hairstyle or something like a piece of anatomy or whatever really works, it can get really difficult to know how to play around with it, I think. You made a grilled cheese at 4 a.m. the other day. Oh my goodness. A good Cabernet if you like red. In fact, it keeps you awake. Is that the idea, you think? You'd fall asleep if it wasn't for stimulants, but alcohol is a depressant, so yeah, that doesn't make sense to you. So is it supposed to make you sleepy? If you're being serious, you can recommend a nice $18 cab that tastes like expensive wine. Thank you for this sub, Flat Wabbit! Oh my goodness, how are you doing? Have you been streaming lately with little Charles on your lap? By the way, when I'm talking about Charles, I am not talking about Charles the artist streamer, I am talking about Charles the rabbit. So Charles is Flat Wabbit's pet bunny, and I had the honor of seeing him on live stream once, and he is so cute. You guys have got to see him one day. Melissa, thank you so much for the 5-month sub. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Hello, Charles. We've got Charles, the actual Charles here now, guys. Have a look at Charles's work, guys. Charles is an amazing artist. I'll do a bit of a shout out. You guys have to check out his work. If you're really into seeing sketches go from blank page to finished drawing, Charles is your go-to stream for that. Bullet fits in the palm of your hand. Bullet? Not Charles tonight, you had a bullet out tonight. Oh, you mean a bullet, the kind of bunny. So how old are they at the moment then, Flat Wabbit? This little creepy kiddo and his coffin, you love it already. Well, Melissa, do you know the music by Florence and the Machine? Are you familiar with her stuff? This is based on that drawing, on that song. You had no idea you're a VIP, you're honored. Well, you have to be, Charles. You have to be a VIP here. You've been probably my biggest supporter since the start of my streaming journey, so it only makes sense, you know? Only makes sense. How's your bunny cage coming along, Charles? Oh, you love Florence. Did you recognize the name of the song then? I feel like a lot of people love Florence's music. How can you not? I mean, it is absolutely amazing. You have a theme and you're not untalented, Charles. Exactly. Oh, it came to a halt. You bought a compound bow instead. Oh my goodness, what? Not to hunt rabbits. Thank you for the love, everyone. Well, I'm glad you're not gonna hunt rabbits, but that is one cool piece. Do you have a picture of it? Because I'd love to see. Bunnies are fun, but a bit more work than other animals. They really are, yeah, a lot of cleaning. And they also need a lot more attention than people realize. Like, some people have this idea that they can buy a pet rabbit and just put it in a cage and it'll be fine on its own. You know, rabbits are very smart and they require a lot of stimulation. They won't be happy. And yeah, I think it's really sad that they're a really misunderstood kind of pet. A lot of people think they're low maintenance, but they're really not. I feel like some other animals are a lot less maintenance than a bunny. Dora, thank you for gifting the sub to Charles. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. You used to own a rabbit. It's best to get 2 of them bonded because they need attention. Yeah, we had a rabbit on her own for a while and she got so sad, so we started looking out for a friend, and eventually when she got her friend, she was so happy. Oh my goodness, Flat Wabbit, thank you for gifting those subs to everyone. 6 subs, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Really, really appreciate that. What a warm welcome back from my stream hiatus. Really appreciate you guys. You're awesome. Thank you so much. You got 270-ish of them to keep you on your toes. I don't know how you do it, Flat Wabbit. That is a lot of rabbits to take care of. They must be a handful, or you must have like a really good system to take care of them all. I know, right? I'm so lucky, Kishnobi. Thank you so much, Dover. Oh my goodness. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for all the subs and all the follows. Wow, guys. Thank you. What on earth is happening? I would read all your names out, but there's so many of you who just followed. Carping Blabber, Immodesty. There's too many of you. Thank you so much, guys, for the follows. Really appreciate that. After 20 years, it's a piece of cake. Really? Do you just have like a good system down then? Tranquil, thank you for the follow. I know, right? It's a massive follow count. I don't know what's happening. Thank you, guys. I'm really, really honored. Really happy you guys like my work. So we're just working on some fan art today. I don't usually do fan art very often. I prefer doing my own pieces. But today we're working on some fan art by Florence and the Machine. And it's based on her song called My Boy Builds Coffins. So I've really for a long time wanted to, you know, draw a piece based on this song. And yeah, just always wanted to draw it in the way I envisioned this song to be, you know? Thank you so much, guys, for all those follows. Raising rabbits for 20 years is a skill. I know. So how many do you actually have in total at the moment, Flat Wabbit? Rabbits are OCD, and so for you being OCD, yes, there's a timeline. To follow up on that thought, your dad just wanted to inform you your first rabbit pet was dead. Hang on, just like right now? Did that just happen just now? That is so tragic, I'm so sorry. They used to joke about them being dead, and then when they died, they said they were dead. And they were dead, and you were sad. That is not cool. That is so awful, oh my goodness. Not a funny joke. I am so sorry. Around 270 or so, probably around 300 here in about a week. A lot of babies on the way, planned of course. So why do you keep bringing them? Do you just rehome them, like find people who want pets? Tova, Robin, hello, how are you doing? Makes you cry. I know, right? It's those kinds of jokes are not funny at all. Animals are so important, and people often don't realize, you know, what they mean to us, so. You don't sell any of your rabbits. Okay. So you just keep them all? Aren't you worried they'll get too many for you to take care of one day and, you know, it'll start to overwhelm you? Or do you just manage that? You seem to really love your rabbits a lot. I really want to get myself a scarlet macaw, sorry, a green winged macaw one day. And, but I don't want to do it until I have the right place, because those birds are so insanely hard to take care of properly. And if you don't have room for them to, you know, do their thing, be free and everything, they can get so hard to keep entertained. And I just don't feel like right now I have the space to be able to take care of one properly. So hopefully, you know, when I get a new place, that'll be able to happen. I really, really want one, so always been my dream. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate all the love. Thank you for those bits, False Visual. Thank you so much. You also like the people that raise chickens and ducks as pets. Me too! Chickens and ducks, especially chickens. Like, I used to play with my childhood friends' pet chickens, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. One of them was called Dinner, and the other one was called Lunch, but they never ate them. It was just funny, like, you know, having this chicken called dinner and lunch. But yeah, they were really adorable. They were pets and very, very well loved. So they would just sit in your hand, be cuddled. It was the cutest thing ever. Hype train. We've got so much hype train going. Charles, thank you for the bits. Really, really appreciate that. That's so kind of you. I've been missing a lot of your streams lately. I actually haven't been on Twitch all that much because I took a long break. But I'm back now, so hopefully I'll be, you know, making a lot of you guys' streams again. Lifespans for said animals are also not longer than humans, so they will die before you, and that's sad. I know, that's part of the reason why I want to get a scarlet macaw. Sorry, a green-winged macaw. Because they live so long, you know, but then it also becomes problematic in the sense that if the animal lives longer than you, well, what happens to it? You know, if it gets really attached to you and you're no longer there to take care of it, well, you're gonna have to make plans, you know, for its life after you die. And that's another thing that bugs me. So you don't want to sound bad, but this is something you heard on other streams recently. If people are really following, you truly appreciate it. In case it's not, this is another case of follow bots or something. Streamers see a sudden and unexpected rise in follows from probably fake accounts. I know that it does also happen to me a lot on Instagram, Dover, where I'll get an overnight following of like a ton of accounts and then suddenly there's nothing. You know, it's really sad. But average age of rabbits right now is 7 years old. Yours are averaging 9, but they also live indoors, have a playtime or exercise each day, and get a lot of care. Wow, how do you get that many rabbits to stay inside and get along? That is crazy. I'm really happy that, you know, they're not out in the elements and getting cold and everything, because when rabbits get older, that really does get to them, you know, but not everyone has the, you know, the space to be able to keep them inside, so sadly a lot of rabbits do need to live out in the cold. Take the moment! Hello, how are you doing? I'm really good. I've had a bit of a break to try and, you know, do some work on my portfolio, catch up on a lot of things that I needed to get done. So it was a much needed break. I'm really happy I did. You're pissed about the tortoises that people put in tanks, and when they outlive their humans, they will not be able to go past that when we all inevitably destroy ourselves. I know. It's really sad, and you know, a lot of people also keep tortoises in really small... Hang on, are tortoises the underwater ones? No, they're not. Turtles. People keep turtles in tanks, like water tanks that are really tiny at times. It is so sad. That guy, how are you? I hope it's going well. Have you been doing any paintings lately? Paint the moment. These are real thoughts, at least in your head. Yeah, I agree, Super Bass. It's really tragic. That's why if I were to ever get a parrot that outlives me, I would definitely make plans for its life, you know, if I die, because those birds are so smart and they, you know, they really bond to their owners, so it can be a huge shock for them when they outlive their owners, and, you know, that's not easy for them. Why are burnt marshmallows the best? They are, right, Crystal? They really are. I love burnt marshmallows. You're making me want to go make some right now, but I don't know if I have any marshmallows at home. I don't know. Really keen to get some right now, though. Maybe I should take a drive to the store with my brother later, and then we can both, like, burn marshmallows. That'll be awesome. I would love that. We're definitely not going to finish this one today, but that's alright. I'm planning to continue working on him tomorrow. We still have a lot of time, but unfortunately, I really want to do a lot of detail on the coffin itself. I want to make sure it looks amazing, and I also need to do a pattern on, you know, the jumper. So, thank you, Dark Guy. Dover, thank you for gifting that sub to Dark Guy. Same with the fish. It's going well. Yeah, it's going really well, Dark Guy. It took a bit of a break so I could, you know, catch up on some work and everything, but yeah, it's nice to be back. It's nice to do some drawings, especially a drawing that I've really wanted to do for a very long time now, so it's one of my favorite songs by Florence and the Machine, and I've always wanted to do a good rendition of it. Like, draw it as it makes me feel. So hopefully, if I can just get all of these tones down today, tomorrow I can start adding all the little details. Good to hear. Am I working on Humpty or other things? So I'm still working on Humpty Paint at the moment. I actually have to buy paper for it, but they don't let you just buy one sheet. So I'm going to have to buy 10 sheets, and that's going to cost me $160. So I was just looking at it last night and being like, you know, that's just a bit much right now. But I'll have a look at it. At the end of the day, it does kind of make sense to just get it, because I do have about, I think, 10 pages, you know, in total for the Humpty story, so none of them will really go to waste. As long as I don't mess up any pages, then, you know, I should be all good. But yeah. I did find another place that sells them individually, but then the price is ridiculously high, so it's not really worth it. And since I'm going to have to buy more than, like, I'm going to have to buy 10 anyways, kind of makes sense to just buy it all in one go. It's just a lot, you know. But once I get that paper, I can start doing the watercolor painting of my Humpty piece, so that'll be amazing. That's the one thing about watercolor, you know, it's not cheap. You can't cheap out on the paper, otherwise you don't get the quality. So, it's just one of those things. You gotta commit to it. When humans inevitably ruin themselves, the animals will suffer due to circumstance. Exactly, and that's so unfair, right? You had literally one bed of fish in a 100-gallon tank, and rest assured, they took full advantage of the space and they wanted more. Yeah, better fish is one example that I really hate. You know, somewhere along the lines, pet stores or I don't know, pet books or something started this stupid myth that they don't need a lot of space. They love to swim, you know? People keep them in literally a cage that's as big as a glass of water. It's horrible, you know, it's completely horrible. So yeah, I feel really bad for those fish. Because due to that misconception, people now think that it's okay to keep them in small tanks. That they don't need much more, you know? But it couldn't be further from the truth, sadly. Have you ever had a look at the YouTube channel of the Cinescaper? Super based. I think you'll love his tanks. He keeps better fish as well, but his tanks are amazing. They're beautiful. That's alright, superstar, super based. It's definitely something important to get emotional over. Um, I mean, when you start to think about how awful it is, how many animals have to live in bad conditions, it really does get to you, and I think it getting to you is not a bad thing. You know, it shows that you care, it shows that you are a kind and caring person that wants to do the right thing, and that's what matters, you know, so don't feel bad about it. You're off to bed. Great having me back after a nice step back. Enjoy the rest of my day. Well, thank you, Kishnobi. Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate that. It was pretty dope for the average butterfish. They also did die in house fire. That destroyed your house. Oh no. That is awful. Oh my goodness. And your pets. You were working, it burnt away without you being there. And you are permanently damaged from it. I cannot imagine. Oh my goodness. That is the worst. Yeah. You still blame yourself for no one being there, but apparently it was an electrical fire that was faulted on the construction of the house. That's terrifying. I couldn't imagine, like, considering leaving my house now without feeling fearful of that. Oh no. That is awful. I am so sorry to hear that. Has it affected you not, like, feeling like you can't get pets again? Also, I won't stop doing art after Humpty is done. No, I'll never stop doing art, Crystal. I'm hoping to do a lot more books after Humpty's done, so yeah. That is a lot of money. Is the paper made of gold? No, so it's just really good paper. But apparently it doesn't actually work out to be that expensive. They are very large sheets of paper. So I'm pretty sure they're larger than A2. So I'll have to cut them down. But because the paper I did Humpty on is just slightly larger than A3, that means I need to print on A2. So, you know, It's just one of those things. Because it's so big, it ends up being quite expensive. What watercolor paper is my favorite? So it would have to be Archi's watercolor paper, and it would have to be the hot press version. I love having the hot pressed watercolor paper. So that, yeah, this is the hot pressed watercolor paper, but it's a sheet that is larger than A2. So the basic central air conditioning started a fire. Oh no. Yeah, that is ridiculous. They keep them in cups at the store. It's really sad. I know, right? It's ridiculous. It infuriates me because then people look at them and they're like, oh, I don't have a lot of space for a fish. Let me get one of these. You know, and then they live like that for the rest of their lives. Like, how would you feel being in a small tank for the rest of your life? Not good. But yeah. All you can do, like, I actually have a friend who works at a pet store and she refuses to sell fish to people unless they, like, buy or say that they have. Like, she asks them first, what size tank do they have? And if it's too small, she either makes them buy a tank or, like, refuses to sell the animal to them. Which I think is fair. It's hard because, you know, they could just come back and lie and say, well, I now have a tank this size, but, you know, what more can she do? At least she's, you know, setting her foot down and being like, well, this is animal abuse. You should not be keeping it in a tank this size. So I really admire her for that. And you get good people like that in the industry, though, who care and don't just want to make money selling animals. Fish are friends, not food or pets. Exactly. Sounds dumb, but you could almost have a conversation with them. They are capable of expressing thoughts and feelings. Have you ever seen people train them? Like, people train goldfish to play soccer and do crazy tricks on YouTube. You really should have a look. But, super based. Go and Google Thin Escaper. Um, So Cinescaper on YouTube. He has amazing videos and he keeps better fish in beautiful tanks. That did make you consider the quality of construction in general from everything. Yeah. And you should consider that also when investing in a home too. It's scary, but a thought. Exactly, it's very important, definitely. It's about educating people. Exactly, yeah. You know, some people don't know. And it's the same as, you know, birds are not supposed to eat only seed diets. And for a long time, I didn't know this. And like I read it in some books that, you know, birds are supposed to eat pellet diets, but I didn't realize how serious it was until, you know, I spoke with my veterinarian about it. So now I try to educate as many people as I can. You know, don't feed your birds just seed diets. They're going to get a lot of health problems. You will reduce their lifespans. It's incredibly bad for them because that's not what they'll eat in the wild. You know, they may have like one or two seeds a day that they'll get in, and the rest is all other kinds of nutrients. So yeah, it's a very misunderstood thing. Same as carrots for rabbits. You know, everyone thinks that rabbits should be fed carrots, and while that's true, you know, they can eat carrots. The amount of carrots they should have in their diet is a lot less than people realize. It has an impact, though, is what you're saying. What has an impact? You got a male betta in a 5-gallon tank, which is the minimum recommended size. He seems pretty happy and enriched. Well, I'm glad he seems happy. I don't actually know how big gallons are because we don't really use those here, but... Back in college, your friend gifted you an aquarium with some fish. It was a beautiful gesture and you loved it. But after a while, you felt bad as they all passed away, so you decided to never have an aquarium again. That's not good. Sometimes it can be, over cleaning or not cleaning enough, or, something's wrong in the water. There can be a lot of things with fish. It's really, really tricky. You've done a lot of animal rescue photography, so animals are everything to you. Oh my goodness. I'd love to see some of those photos. Actually, they want to be in the ocean and open waters. That's true. That is where they really want to be, right? Get to the boys. Got to get the boys ready for the school run. Have a great rest of my stream. Well, thank you, Paint the Moment. You too. Yeah, it is a lot of wrong information. Maybe not even malicious, but ignorant. Yeah, well, I mean, I for one was definitely ignorant of that for a very long time. And I feel like, it's kind of silly, but sometimes like you read something, right? And you won't know, the internet is flooded with, even for humans, you gotta eat this, you gotta eat that, and it can be really confusing to know what actually really matters. So I feel like it's really important to take your pet to a vet, have a good conversation with your veterinarian, try to research as much as you can, and ask your vet questions. Like, if you're not sure how important something is, just ask them. Because they'll see that you're a person who's really interested in learning, really interested in taking care of your pet, on another level, and they'll give you more information. So, because consults can be really short, and a vet doesn't always know what information you'll need. And I feel like with fish, it can be incredibly difficult because we can't really take fish to vets, right? It's really hard, but there's definitely a lot of places where you can find people that are more knowledgeable. Like, if you find, a place that sells fish that invests in them a lot more than other animals, sometimes those places can be quite knowledgeable and teach you a lot more. So, yeah. Always something you can do to learn more. Perhaps you will think about it sometime in the future then, since you do love pets. Well, I feel like if you have a really large tank of fish, and you have small fish in the tank, then it's fine, as long as they have a lot of room to swim. But yeah, I think you can get kits, Jova, where you can test the pH values and other things in the water. Like currently, I actually got 6 snails recently, and I was really unlucky. 3 of them died in 2 weeks since I got them. And I was really confused, what was I doing wrong? But when I got them, some of their shells were a little bit damaged. And so I had a conversation with one of my friends who's really knowledgeable about aquatic animals, and she said that I actually got them with, a calcium deficiency, and they were probably about to die anyways. So, the only thing I could do to try and save the rest of them is maybe give them calcium supplements, see how they go. But yeah, even snails, can be really, really tricky. But I found with fish, it's at times it's got a lot to do with like the water quality. Like if the water has an imbalance or something, too much algae, not enough algae, all those kinds of things can affect the health of your fish, and yeah, it's not always the best. And usually by the time you can spot it, it's already too late, right? Betters get it rough the most because they ship them in keychain-sized chemical fluid. Are you serious? They're so smart. You have a special feeling for betters in the fish world. I would love to have one again. But I have a goldfish at the moment and they would just wreck them. So I can't keep them with my other fish. You got a nerite snail in one time with holes in its shell. He lived for a while, but his days were for sure numbered. Yeah, it's really sad when you get them like that, you know? And there's nothing you can do about it. Once it's been damaged, like if there's small damage, and you give them a calcium block, sometimes you can help them recover. But if there's too much damage, there's really nothing you can do. So, just gotta try and, if you can, spot it early enough, but sometimes you get them like this because not everyone really knows what they need, you know? Not everyone, like, I literally went to a pet store the first time I got a snail and I asked them, well, can I buy snail food? Because, you know, I now have snails, I need to feed them. And they said, we don't have any snail food, you don't feed snails, they just eat, whatever algae is already in the tank. And, you know, I was really confused. Well, what if I don't have enough algae in my tank? How do I know, right? But yeah, essentially I found out from one of my friends who's really experienced with fish that there's actually a lot of things you can feed them, like snail food recipes and stuff that you can find online. Like, it's called a Snello recipe. So yeah, I'm going to, you know, give them something nice to eat. Just in case there's not enough food for them in my tank. You never know. But the rest of them that didn't have any damage to their shells have actually been doing pretty okay, so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we'll get to actually keep some snails. As a fish lover and cat lover, your own beliefs are contradicting to the animal world. You're petting your kitty and they love to harass your last fish that you keep as a pet. I can imagine that's conflicting, yeah. That happens. It is fascinating nonetheless. So much to discover, learn, and care for. Exactly. And I feel like, you know, our human desire to have pets, and care for them is not, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as we put care into how we do it and, you know that if you are going to have a pet, that you have decided to put their, you know, take on a life and you are now responsible for their life, so. True, to think that all creatures will follow suit is ignorant as. I know, it really is. It really is. I mean, they all have their own little lives and own little interests, and you have to also remember, you know, if you are their only company, at times you can be their whole world, and if you're away at work all day and you come home and, you know, you don't have time for them, well, what's the point of their little lives, you know? They need to mean something too. I think that's the nice thing about cats in general. Cats can be extremely independent. Most cats. Like, you definitely do get your few cats who really thrive on, like, human connection and need it. But, yeah. What is the boy thinking as he's building the coffin? Something nefarious or just focusing on craftsmanship? It's really coming along well. Thank you, Dover. Well, to be honest, the way I envisioned him is he's just really invested in the pure essence of his craft. Like, he's not really planning anything malicious. He just likes to build coffins. It's what makes him feel alive, you know? That's his thing. So, yeah, just the craft, I guess. He's just really intensely putting all his love and care into it. I guess that's what I got from the song, you know? It's his thing. You're working on your painting on painting animals for the next year, mostly animals. That is awesome. You want to really get them figured out. You've really done a great job with the ones you've tackled already. Love the animals, whatever floats your boat. Exactly. Your cat is needy, but they're not going to poo-poo all over your materials to make a point. That's good to know. Good to know that your art is safe when you leave it unattended, right? They are here right now and being so amazing and cute. Well, that is awesome, Super Based. You gotta show us some pictures of your pets. Like, post them in our Discord. I'd love to see. I always love seeing you guys' pets. I feel like the one thing that's bugging me about him is his eyebrows. Like, they're just not matching his face, I guess. I don't know. I want to give them a little bit more emotion, I guess. It's crazy how, like, eyes and especially eyebrows can give so much feeling to a piece. It's ridiculous. Cats definitely choose, as in choose their mood, or well, you can choose as a dog as pets, but when it comes to cats, they choose us. You have no say in the matter. Oh, right. Yeah, cats can be really, really mean sometimes, but also really sweet. I feel like they're a bit of both. You came out the shelter not making a decision on your own, but being manipulated by animals. Well, that happens at shelters, definitely. Our rabbits are attached if they feel safe, and you spend the time to build trust with them. Yeah, exactly. I feel like, yeah, definitely rabbits give you what you give them. At first they can be a little scared, but the little ones you snuggle from about their 10th day when their eyes open. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Do the mums not mind? Not me, the sweetest manipulative characters ever. That's true, right? That's true. Dogs are like they like you or not. Cats have a thought about that concept. You like dogs too. The big doggos. I feel like the larger animals are, generally the gentler they are. On average, I don't know why that is. Like maybe they're aware of, their physical strength and they try to not, hurt anyone else. I don't know. But I just feel like, larger parrots also tend to be your gentler kinds. Now, I didn't want to make him look sad. I'm concerned that currently he looks a little too sad because of his eyebrows. Um, which I want him to be, to have a certain look but not be sad. So we'll see about possibly changing that down the track. He really has the scarecrow hairstyle going. Exactly what I wanted though. The eyebrows made all the difference. Well, I'm glad, I'm glad. You also didn't associate with aggressive people that own said dogs. As in, the people made their dogs a certain way. Well, definitely that's true, dogs are a reflection of their owners, that's very true. Um, it's true for all animals. It's definitely getting very rainy outside. The wind is blowing so hard. I really love when you have ominous weather. I hope we have some later today because that would be awesome. You slept with a pit bull that was like a baby that would scratch your door to sleep with you on a single-sized bed in your teenage years. That is adorable. It was annoying but also very cute. It does sound cute, yeah. Sounds tremendously cute. Sometimes the annoying things, like, are just the most precious, you know? And in the moment, sometimes you don't have patience and you're like, oh my goodness, can I just be alone? But in hindsight, when you think back on those memories, you just wish them back. You just want every moment of them back. You see you have a bias because you like cats better, but that's your preference for whatever reason. Well, I feel like everyone has a preference, you know, and we don't know why. Sometimes it just happens, you know. And that's just the way that it is. When someone says rain, you think free car wash. I know, I do too. Except the rain doesn't always do the best job at that. Sometimes it leaves streaks, and I don't like that. But yeah, it definitely is a free car wash. Well, he is definitely coming along very, very well. I am super happy with him. So hopefully, tomorrow I can actually, you know, give him some more detail because I wanna give him some pattern. I feel like he probably does need like little skill stripes or something. I kind of want to do a bit of a zigzag pattern on his little jumper, so we shall see. I don't know yet. I'm gonna have a think about that tonight. And hopefully tomorrow I can execute it. Yeah, it needs to be a thunderstorm, lightning, thunder, the rain ASMR, and the smell of the earth. Love it all. Yeah, that is the best. That is definitely the best. But no hail, otherwise it's not a proper car wash. Everything minus the hail. Hail is too much. I hope the stream is going okay, because I am getting warnings. I have a feeling we've gone offline, unfortunately. Hopefully it reconnects. Doesn't look good. I am so sorry, guys. I have a feeling I just lost connection to the stream here. I am so sorry. I'm guessing it's the weather. I really am. So I may need to postpone, unfortunately, because the stream is not doing well. So I think I'll do that. We'll end the stream and hopefully, we'll be able to continue again next time. But thank you so much, guys, for being here, hanging out with me and everything. I do apologize for, the abrupt end. But I really appreciate all of you guys subbing, donating, everything. Thank you for being here. I will end the stream and hopefully we can raid. See you guys.